Hey everybody, this is Josh Seth, better known as AskJoshy on YouTube, and with me is Socke from Germany. He is on the team Alternate Attax, and we are here at Major League Gaming Dallas 2011. How's your weekend been going so far?
I'd say okay.
Okay.
Not too bad, yeah. Could have been better in the group, but looking at who was in there,
Yeah.
I guess I did okay.
Yeah, I think most people would consider your group by far the hardest. You've got yourself, who you've gotten top 3 before at an MLG. Idra has actually won an MLG. Kiwi Kaki's gotten 2nd place and 4th place. So you guys had probably the best results of all of them, despite the seeding being a little off, because Idra was only at one event where he did well, but he is championship quality or caliber. So you definitely had an extremely tough group compared to some of the other ones. You had every matchup as well. And how did that affect your training going into the weekend?
It wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't prepare anything specific for PvP.
Okay.
I trained mostly PvZ, but maybe a bit too much aggressive stuff. Like, looking back at what Idra did, I somewhat spent most of my time with PvT, even though Gretorp, who was probably the weakest player in that group. I don't know. Mostly PvT and PvZ.
So you didn't prepare anything for PvP? Is that because you're very confident with that matchup, or you just feel like no matter what you do, it's going to be the same?
No, there's not so much room to improve in PvP, and nothing's changed with the recent patch. You know, PvZ with Infestor buff and PvT without catering. I had to do some changes there, but PvP stayed the same.
Okay, so how did your actual games go? Let's just briefly talk about each matchup a little bit. First up, you played Idra, right, on the main stage. Those games obviously didn't work out in your favor, but what do you think? What do you think about your play and Idra's play during those games?
I felt I played pretty bad overall on the first day. I don't exactly know why. I went for in the first game I went for like some Void Ray Mass Gateway all in. He went pretty aggressive and drone heavy as well, which is bad for me. And also, like, being able to hear like commentators on the stage like put me off a bit. And second game I like didn't really. I had like a totally. I was pretty clueless. I didn't have a game plan on the second game, also because I thought I had 2 vetoes and not 1, so I was pretty sure I was not going to play Shakuras in PvZ.
Gotcha.
But usually I know what I do there, but I didn't do it and did just some random push, which I never do. So it was like bad decision making on my part.
Okay.
And he played well, so he deserved the win.
All right, and then I didn't see the games with Kiwi Kaki, but do you mind telling us a little bit about those as well?
Yeah, it was. He went for defensive 4-gate in the first game. I went for 3-gate expansion with a cannon on Shakuras.
Okay.
And he was able to kill me with his 4-gate. Like, he went for defensive 1, then moved out.
Gotcha.
And the cannon was just not up in time, and I didn't have enough units and died there. Second game, we both went 4-gate. I went a bit aggressive, couldn't do too much damage.
Right.
Got slightly behind in units. And then we both went Blinkstalker, and he just had a few units more than me, and I...
And that's all it takes.
Yeah, and I couldn't come back from that, because in PvP you can't really do comebacks.
Yeah, and then just recently, before MLG Dallas, I did sort of a highlight video from the first MLG, and I had your series with In Control in there, where you had 1 more Stalker than him, or 2 more Stalkers, and that ended up deciding the game. So definitely Protoss versus Protoss, if any matchup, is the most dependent on single units and micro. So Kiwi Kaki, of course, is an extremely good opponent, and I will tell you, I was at the Root Gaming House for a few days before the event and flew over here with those guys. Kiwi Kaki was only practicing PvP. He said PvZ, PvT, easy. Yeah. PvP, he played probably 50 games a day or something ridiculous. So don't feel bad, because that's all he focused on. Gretorp, probably, like you said, probably the weakest of the 4, which is really
it's not saying
bad.
much.
Yeah, exactly. And to be the weakest of those 4, you could be QXE or any other player.
You could be winning another group. Yeah.
Exactly. So nothing against Gretorp, but he didn't do so well. Yeah. How are your games against him?
I did like a 2-gate pressure into expansion build, and he had a bunker up over his ramp, and he like immediately led to like a 5-gate unit push, because like his bunker was like not focusing properly. Like, it took the shield over every stalker. I don't know what happened there.
Okay.
And also we were also a bit late to pull SCVs. In the second game we had cross positions on Metalopolis, and I went for like a 3-gate expansion with high ground DT warp in. He didn't have turrets up, so I was able to do a lot of damage, and just it was easy going from there on.
Dark Templar versus Terran, it can be pretty hard if they've already used, all their orbital command energy and stuff like that. Great tactic. I love Dark Templar, actually. That's probably my favorite Protoss unit. But besides that, the layout for this Major League Gaming was different than any other one before it, in that we had the championship group, or the group play seeding, and obviously you benefited from that because you lost more than one BO3, but you're still in the tournament. And in the open bracket, if you lose 2 BO3s, you go home. So how do you feel about the new layout for the tournament?
I think it makes for like more interesting games than last one. Also, like, you could get really unlucky with like a bad bracket.
That's true.
With the previous setup. So if you're top 16, it's good. If you're not, well,
it's a little harder. Yeah. Okay, so what do you think about the map pool and having a stage? I know that things didn't quite work out the way Major League Gaming wanted with the stage, it being all the internet issues and things like that. But and also, you said you could hear the game a little bit more than you should have when you were actually up there. But what do you think about all of it on the whole?
Like with the stage and stuff, it's a pretty nice setup. Like the sound issues, I think they fixed it later on. On the internet, I don't know if that'll blame, but I guess it's going to be better next time.
Hopefully.
So I guess they did a pretty good job compared to last time when it was much smaller.
Yeah, and spectators have a much easier time when there are games being played. So I enjoyed it as well. Is there anything you want to talk about with your European dominance? You've been doing quite well recently in European tournaments, and you just won the Justin TV Invitational number 2, was it? So, I mean, you've been doing really well in Europe. Do you just want to talk about your success and how is it helping you at all, like, prepare mentally for tournaments like this where you have to fly overseas and just, I don't know.
I don't know if
you can brag a little bit if you want.
No, I'm not bragging. It's just like most offline events I went to, I've did like really well, or at least considerably well.
Yeah.
So it gives you like good confidence going to those offline events, knowing that you can usually put up a good fight.
Cool. All right. Is there anyone you want to thank, fans, sponsors, etc.? Just go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks to Team Alternate and Asus, the sponsor, and to everybody who was cheering for me.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Socke. Always a pleasure to see you here at these events. Hope you do very well today, and good luck. Have fun.
Thanks.
Bye, everybody.